Hey y'all, so I know for you what I normally do is tap into spirit, get a channeled message, then pull some tarot cards. But spirit has been giving me so many downloads and so many messages lately that spirit saying share these as well. And in my morning routine, what I do for myself is I tap in, get a channeled message from spirit, and then I write. And I do the same thing that I do for y'all. Like I get like an image in my head. That's kind of how it comes through. And I start to write about that image. And then as I'm writing, spirit really helps me understand what that image means and how it's applied to my life. I don't do tarot cards for myself in the morning. And so that's how I do it through these journals. But this last week, I've gotten so many what I feel like are really resonant messages and spirit saying share those too. So I just want to casually share the channeled message I just got this morning with y'all. And hopefully it helps. So I was sitting there and I tapped in like I normally do, and I got a vision of a road crew filling in potholes. And before the potholes were filled in, the cars were going on it like doo doo doo, like it was really rough. And then once the potholes were filled in, like traffic moved, the road supported the traffic. And a lot of times when we are starting to tap in, starting to connect with spirit, starting to flow with this divine energy, that uses our chakra system, right? So we're opening up our chakra system and we're flowing, and that's what's really allowing us to have coherence, give us peace throughout the day. Like this is what we want to do, is be filled with this divine energy, right? But what's also there is our nervous system. And when I've done a lot of this healing work, I've had to balance like what is chakras and what is nervous system. And your nervous system is what is conditioned, right? So any conditioning you've had, any lies you've told yourself, or protective patterns that you've had to take on, your nervous system holds those. And this can be as simple as like you're a people pleaser. So when you are going to stand up for your boundaries, you're going to do what spirit's telling you need to do, take your power back and do that. Your nervous system can say, we're scared to do that, or this is really scary, or I hope they like me, or I hope they don't get mad at me, or there's just, even though logically we're like, it doesn't matter if they're mad at you, you're speaking your truth. There are things within us, and especially people who have trauma backgrounds or abuse backgrounds, where these things can be like life or death for us. Like simply saying, no, I'm not going to do that today, and having somebody get a little huffy and puffy with us can be like life or death, especially if we come from more traumatic backgrounds. So what I got from spirit is, right now, I don't know about you, but I've been feeling a lot of activation from what I'm thinking is my nervous system. I believe that it is because spirit is filling me even more with divine light, and it's coming in at such a rate that my nervous system's actually having to like recalibrate to it. And it comes in feeling like anxiety. So, I've asked spirit about this, and I'm sure you all can relate to your nervous system being activated, you feeling triggered, or you having more anxiety at times. And so what I got from spirit is, right now, your nervous system has dealt with a whole bunch of traumas, has had to learn just how to be in this world that may or may not be true. You've thought things about yourself that may or may not be true, like that you're worthless, or that this gives you value, or that this is what makes you smart, or this is what makes you acceptable in this world, or just things, all of the conditioning that you've been through. And through the years, we have created potholes in this nervous system, potholes in this highway that is meant for our regulation, meant for our like piece of existence, our baseline. We have created potholes by the different trauma, abuse, neglect, abandoning ourselves. So some people's nervous system is so riddled with potholes that their road is closed. And it's been closed for a while. Like, these people, they are so wrapped in their protective patterns that no car could ever go down that road. It would just ruin the car in seconds. And when I'm talking about car, I'm talking about this divine frequency that we need to pump through us to fill those potholes, to help us regulate, to remind us where we belong, where we come from, who we are, that we're loved, that we are a child of God, like all of those things. But when our protective patterns, when our potholes become so many, so deep, it interferes with that flow from the divine, and it interferes like a road with traffic until the road can be closed. And we know these people, they're completely closed off to diving into inner child work or diving into healing journeys because it's just too painful. There's just so many potholes and the road's been closed for a long time. And what I get that we need to do is when we are actively choosing to go towards our coping mechanisms. So this could be we are abandoning ourselves and we're overgiving. We're abandoning ourselves and we're not sticking up for our truth. We're abandoning ourselves and we're escaping, or we're choosing addictions or lower level things. Those things, especially if we are aware of them, are digging the potholes deeper. So Spirit really this morning came through with, all you need to do is don't dig the potholes deeper. Meaning, even if it scares you, even if it's hard, even if it feels life or death for you, you need to do what you know is right in your heart. Meaning, not just be kind to be kind, but speak your truth. Stay in your power. Go away from that codependent relationship that you know isn't serving you anymore. Leave substances or things behind. You know the things in your life, the things that you choose that no longer serve you. And Spirit's saying when we choose those things, we dig the potholes deeper. And that's not a blame or an accusation or a judgment. That's just, it takes us away from the divine light. But Spirit's good news is that this divine light is always trying to get through. And many of you I know are tapping in and getting closer to Spirit and feeling this energy. And when this energy goes through us, the divine light goes through us and it leaves remnants of light in those potholes and fills those potholes for us. So all our job is keep tapping in so that we can fill those potholes with divine light and stop digging the holes deeper. So doing things that we know are aligned with us. And if you're like, I don't know what's aligned with us, I don't know sometimes when I'm choosing old patterns, I don't know. For the times you don't know, tap in even deeper because Spirit will give you that guidance. But I just loved this metaphor of potholes in a road. And so your divine light, the things that are just giving you a little bit of anxiety or making you feel unstable is because divine light's shooting through that and hitting some potholes along the way. And you're feeling that disconnect. You're feeling that short circuit, right? And Spirit's just saying, hold the line, keep the line open, keep being tapped in, allow that divine light to fill those potholes and just as much as you can, choose alignment, choose what you're worth, choose, this is the hard part, but choose the things that are right for you and not the things that you know don't serve you anymore. Because that's what we do, right? We fall back on old patterns, but that starts to dig those potholes. And we do not spend this much time praying, this much time tapped into Spirit, this much time asking for guidance, this much time manifesting for us to be spending the other half of our time engaging in behaviors and old patterns and limited thought waves and substances and whatever that counteract all of this beautiful light work that we're doing. So the real message was just hold tight. We know Spirit's saying, we know that your nervous system is a little rocky and it's because there's some potholes, but keep tapping into Spirit. Keep living this beautiful life you're living. Spirit says, we see you choosing. We see you choosing. And you've had years and years and years of digging deep potholes because none of us knew any better. We're just doing what makes us feel comfort in this world. But we've woken up. We understand that those things don't serve us anymore. And Spirit's saying, we see you. We see you doing the good work. We see you pouring into yourself. We see you trying really hard to figure it out. And Spirit says, give yourself a little bit of a break. You don't need to figure anything out except for don't dig the holes deeper and stay so open, because every time you're open and tapped into Spirit, and you know what this feels like when the divine is just flowing through you, and this can be all day that you're connected, it is allowing the potholes to be filled, which regulates your nervous system, and it builds a new foundation that doesn't need to be regulated by old coping strategies. It doesn't need alcohol to be regulated. It doesn't need a codependent relationship to be regulated. It doesn't need somebody to text you and say, good job today, to be regulated. If something happens where somebody's calling you out, it doesn't get dysregulated because it's so full of divine light, and there's such a highway, fast moving traffic on this divine highway that doesn't have a pothole in sight, that just all of those things can't even hit you anymore. There's no potholes, so there's no place for them to land. And right now, because we do have potholes, when those things come in, they can land in the potholes and cause that traffic to disrupt and cause us to feel dysregulated. So I hope that this message helps you. I felt like it was profound, that it's like, oh gosh, there's just some potholes that we need to fill with divine light. And I know I personally will beat myself up for like, am I doing good? Am I doing good enough? And Spirit's like, yes, as long as you're not digging the potholes deeper, not giving these external issues, these external substances, codependent relationships, things people say, things people do, expectations on you, not giving that a place to land, and you're staying so close to Spirit, it's all you need to do, baby. It's all you need to do. Okay? I love you guys so much. I hope that you are tapping into Spirit. I hope that your potholes are being filled so much right now with love, and that you feel that, we're not going to judge our potholes. We're just going to say, we don't need you anymore. And we're not going to leave spaces in our bodies for crummy things, fear, to exist anymore. We're going to let that all be filled with divine light. I hope you guys enjoyed this channeled message. If you did, please like and comment. Let me know how it resonates. Next time I get a good, profound channeled message like this, I will definitely share it with y'all.